All right, 36th District Court is now in session. Thank you for your patience. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, we had to attend staffing on today for our Veterans Treatment Court docket. So my apologies, I'm only one person. I can't be in two places at the same time. And I am required to staff in order for my funding for my specialty court docket. So I do the best that I can. So thank you for your patience. I went to do my staffing and now I am ready to call the docket for the afternoon. I think we have a retained counsel. I'd like to start with that matter. Counsel, what case are you here on? Talinda?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Amir Al-Nami is my client, Your Honor. It's an arraignment.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Amir Al-Nami for arraignment, Your Honor.
I still can't hear him. Is there a problem with the? There we go. Okay, very good. One more time, counsel.
My client's name is, his first name is Amir. Last name is Al-Nami. It's for an arraignment on a business. I'll waive his presence. I will ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay, counsel, I don't waive appearances for purposes of arraignment. Your client has to appear. And so is he somewhere where you can call him up and get him on? If not, I'll do it today. And I'll do it today, but just know that when he's scheduled, he has to appear, okay?
I appreciate that. He's at work and he's hard to get a hold of. I appreciate it.
All right, let me call the case. I have B115-44621. Counsel, your appearance.
For the record, Your Honor, Paul Talenda, P72495 on behalf of Mr. Amir Al-Nami. Date and time for an arraignment, Your Honor. I'll waive his presence for purposes of arraignment and pre-trial. I've discussed the matter with your staff and making efforts to get some answers and efforts to resolve the case.
All right, thank you, counsel. I'll enter a not guilty plea on behalf of your client. I'll set this matter for, let me see, pre-trial. Yes, I will set the matter for pre-trial. And the pre-trial will be at 1:00 p.m. And that is going to be on, I have to do it on Wednesday. So I'll schedule it for June 22nd, 2022. And that'll be at 1:00 p.m.
Thank you.
Okay? All right, thank you for your patience this afternoon.
Have a great day. Thanks so much.
Right. You do the same. All right, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, who do we have up next?
Judge, if I may summarize, we have 2 dismissals, we have 1 request for a bench trial, and we have 2 guilty pleas. How would you like to proceed?
With the dismissals first, please.
Yes, Judge, thank you. If I may, the first dismissal would be Mr. Evian Adams.
All right, thank you.
E-V-I-A-N.
I have it. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
thank you. I have the following matters for Mr. Adams. Case number SP124-725-4, counts 1 and 2. Mr. Adams, please state your name. Unmute for me.
Adams.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for your patience today. There's been a recommendation from the prosecuting attorney to dismiss your matter. Mr. Reed, is that with a stipulation of probable cause?
Yes, Judge, and would so stipulate for probable cause, join in the request for dismissal. Thank you.
Thank you. Both of the matters are dismissed without prejudice. Thank you for your patience, sir. You are free to leave the courtroom. All right. Who do we have next, Mr. Reed?
The next person would be Mr. Mather, M-A-J-T-E-R, Al-Hajjati, Al-Hajjati. N-O-P,
All right,
one
thank you.
N-O-P.
Al-Hajj.
Thank you. I have case number 214-023, 741. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Yeah, Maher Al-Haj, M-A-H-E-R, Al-Haj, A-L-H-A-J-J.
Thank you, sir. There is a recommendation from the prosecuting attorney to dismiss your matter without prejudice. Mr. Reed, is there a stipulation of probable cause?
Yes, Judge, we would join in that motion and we would stipulate the probable cause, valid documentation, Judge.
Thank you. Your matter is dismissed, sir, without prejudice. Thank you for your patience today. All right. You are free to leave. Who do we have up next?
Judge, next we have Lionel Antwine, A-N-T-W-I-N-E.
Thank you. I have case numbers SB 1248464, counts 1 and 2. Mr. Antwine, please state your full name.
My name is Lionel Antwine, Miss Judge.
All right. Thank you and good afternoon to you, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. All right, let's do it. Mr. Fikens, what are we doing on Mr. Antwine's 2 matters?
Your Honor, this is the date and time set for arraignment. After speaking with my client, he'd like to avail himself of the offer. He'd be tendering a plea of guilty to not having a valid license on possession, asking this court to reduce it to fail to display and dismiss a no insurance charge.
All right, Mr. Fikens, your client has a case that's in warrant status from 2017 for entering a vacant building without written authorization.
I was not aware of that, Judge, and I don't think my client was either, because he said he had no other tickets. Maybe we can talk to Mr. Rosenthal about that.
Can you talk to him real quick and then I'll come back to it?
Yes, Judge.
Mr.
All right,
Mr.
thank
Fikens,
you.
I'll call Mr. Rosenthal up while you handle your
you.
other cases.
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Reed. Who do we have? Mr. Antwine, put yourself back on mute and then I'll recall your cases. We want to get you squared away here at 36 District Court with nothing left over.
Okay, Your
All
Honor.
right. Thank you. All right, who do we have up next?
Your Honor, under the byline of Noyana, we have 2 people, Noyana Adams and then Levance Adams. And I could do Noyana Adams first.
Okay, wonderful. I have case number SP 1248781, counts 1 and 2. Miss Adams, please state your name.
Noyana Adams.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Please raise your right hand.
Oh,
Oh, you disappeared. Where are you, Miss Adams?
it's coming back on. There it
No,
goes.
there you are. All right, raise that right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. You can place your hand down. Mr. Fikens, you may proceed.
Your Honor, after speaking to my client on this arraignment date, we have decided that the best course of action is to seek a bench trial date at this time.
All right, very good. And so please establish that your client understands her right to a jury trial and that she's freely, voluntarily, and knowing giving up that right to a jury trial.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Ma'am, as you and I have discussed, you understand that in this matter, in these matters, you have a right to a jury trial, correct?
Yes,
And you wish to waive that right and have this matter heard, if it's going to be heard at all by the court, correct?
yes,
And are you making this decision freely and voluntarily?
yes.
I'm satisfied as to her waiver, Your Honor.
I'm satisfied as well. Counsel, for purposes of today's proceeding, am I entering a not guilty plea on behalf of your client?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We'd stand mute, ask the court to enter a not guilty plea.
All right, very good. I'm entering that not guilty plea. I'm setting both matters for a bench trial, which will take place on, I need to go to a different date, July 1st, 2022, and that will be at 11:00 a.m. Anything else for my consideration?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I'm ready on Levance Adams. SP 1248792, counts 1 and 2. Mr. Adams, state your full name for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Levance Adams.
Good afternoon, sir. All right, counsel, how are we proceeding as to Mr. Adams?
Your Honor, my client wishes to avail himself of the offer made by the people. He'll be tendering a plea of guilty on ticket 7921, entering a plea of responsible of ticket ending in 8322, asking to dismiss the other two matters, Your Honor.
Oh, wait a minute, you lost me. He's pleading responsible on failure to display a valid operator's license, and then he still has 3 other charges. Are those going to be dismissed?
He's going to plead on the expired plate civil infraction,
Okay,
and then the other 2 are going to be dismissed.
all right, got it. Thank you, Mr. Fikens. Mr. Adams, let me have you raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
All right, thank you. You may place your hand down. Counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, you understand that in these matters, you have a right to trials and formal hearings, correct?
That is correct.
And you wish to waive that right and tender a plea of guilty on one and responsible on another. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you making this decision, sir, freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you into doing this or promised anything to get you to plead guilty and responsible today?
No, they haven't.
Sir, I direct your attention back to the date and time of the citation. Were you operating a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
And when stopped by a police officer and asked to produce a valid license, you failed to display a valid license, correct?
Correct.
And also the car that you were driving was being driven with expired plates, correct?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I'm satisfied as to both matters.
All right, very good. I am accepting your plea of guilty to failure to display a valid operator's license and your plea of responsible to the remaining charge. Mr. Fikens, I'm ready for sentencing. There are no amendments to these. No.
Correct,
Okay.
Judge.
Go ahead, Mr. Fikens.
Yes, Your Honor, my client was operating on an emergency basis on that night. Now, that doesn't make it right. I just wanted to explain that he doesn't ordinarily drive without a license. He's presently trying to get his license back and doing the right things, Judge. He was using another's car at the time, and that's the other young lady whose case you had before him. So he's certainly trying to get his license back. He's trying to do the right things. I'd like to point out, Judge, he is also a veteran. He was asking about Veterans Treatment Court, not that he needed it. He just wanted to know and was appreciative that we were interested in helping out veterans.
Absolutely, always. All right, thank you, Mr. Fikens. I'm looking to see what was the amount. 145, okay. So the statutory fine for the expired plates is $145. And then, sir, as to the misdemeanor, failure to display a valid operator's license, I'm only going to assess the fine, and that's going to be in the amount of $50. And so when can you get these paid?
Ma'am, I can
It's
get these
almost
paid.
$200.
My next paycheck is not this Friday, but next Friday, the Friday after. So the 14th.
All right. Okay, so this is what I'll do. I am going to adjourn you to pay. I will give you until July 8th, 2022. Get it paid before that date. I'm going to place you on my docket for that day. Because if you don't get it paid, you need to come back and see me. If you get it paid, don't come back. You're all set. You're gonna get your dismissals. I won't dismiss anything until you make that payment in full, okay?
That's not a problem, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you as well. Thank you for your service. I appreciate you, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you. Take care. And thank you for your patience, both of you, today.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. All right. Was that it? Oh, no, we still have the one other gentleman. And then Ms. Ross is gonna get on for Mr. McCullough Harrell. because he's still sitting in my courtroom. Mr. Reed, Mr. Ficus, I wish that you all had been at our staffing, but I know I'm pulled in, I'll leave it there. All right, very good. While we're waiting for the call back, Mr. Rosenthal, while we're waiting to see what we're going to do as to Mr. Antwine, I am going to call the remainder of my docket very quickly.
Your
I have
Honor,
the following matters.
Your Honor, before you
Yes.
do, I'm sorry, could I be sent back into a breakout room with Mr. Antwine?
Absolutely. Mr. Antwine, I am going to send you and Mr. Fikens. I'm gonna move you to breakout room number 3, Mr. Fikens. And then I don't know where Mr. Antwine is.
I am here.
I know where you are. Hold on. I don't know what's going on with my breakout rooms. Give me a second.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Attorney Fikens and Mr. Antwine, you should both get an invitation to breakout room number 7. Please accept the invitation.
I have that, Judge. Thank you.
All right, very good. I'm going to call the remainder of my docket. I have for last name Abdul Mujib. For my cases that are arraignments, they are going to be scheduled for show cause. Show cause matters will be scheduled for, it will be June 22nd, 2022, and that will be at 1:45 p.m. So all of my show causes will be on the 22nd at 1:45 p.m. I have the following for Abdul Mujib, SP 124-1385, counts 1, 2, and 3, all show cause. I have for Tajahar Ahmed, V 500-907-21, show cause. For Sam Alam, I have SP 124-63641, SP 124-8175, counts 1 and 2, SP 124-8176-1, SP 124-6364, counts 2 and 3, and all of those will be show cause. For Yusuf Alatwali, V 114-82721, that will be a show cause. For Carnell Allen, SP 124-675-51, show cause. For Mosley Al Sumairi, SP 124-8149, counts 1 and 2, both of those will be show cause. For Eric Anderson, 21731-065, counts 1 and 2, both will be show cause. For Rashana Anderson, SP 124-5198, counts 1 and 2, both will be show cause. For Martez Army Harrison, SP 123-0780, counts 1, 2, and 3. Hold on, let me make sure I got that right. For counts 1 and 2, that will be show cause, and then count 3 is going to be a default judgment. All right, and then I have for Shanae Arnold, I have case numbers SP 124-4270, counts 1, 2, and 3. Those will all be show cause. For John Austin Jr., I have the following: SP 124-3769, counts 1, 2, and 3. All of those will be show cause. And then for Mr. Austin, I also have SP 124-37711 and SP 124-42862. Those will be default judgments. And I think I've called everything on the docket except for Mr. Antwine when he comes back. If you could contact Ms. Rob's office or Ms. Drew and let her know I'm ready on her matter that's still in my courtroom. Back from the 13th. You can't get Ms. Robs? All right, I think I good. Oh my God, now it's some stuff for tomorrow.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
But it's still in my order. All right, Ms. Robs, are you coming down or are you gonna do it on Zoom?
Would you like for me to come down, Your Honor?
No, it's up to you.
Okay, well, I can do it here if that's okay.
Oh, yes, absolutely, absolutely. All right, very good. Let me make sure my other traffic matter hasn't come back. Yes, he did. Let me do that real quick, Ms. Robs, and then I'm ready for you.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, Mr. Antoine, Mr. Ficus, are we ready on Mr. Antoine?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. I'm gonna call all of the matters that are in Mr. Antoine's jacket. I have U 387-872-17. I also have case number P 124-8464, counts 1 and 2. Oh, wait a minute. Miss Drew, this printout in here is not right then, right?
Let me see. There's another printer in there.
Because you did another printout and it's not that many things on there. Double check. Oh, Mr. Fikens, I hope that what I just saw isn't right.
I only saw one, Judge. I have a U ticket that I saw.
The one I called, right?
No, it's exactly how, no, it was.
This was, but he's cleaned up.
Yes.
All right, let's do it, Mr. Fikens. Thank you, Ms. Drew. All right, Mr. Fikens, what's the offer from the people? Or Mr. Rosenthal as to Mr. Antoine?
Your Honor,
Yes.
there was an offer. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Attorney Fikens. I'm sorry.
Just to shortcut this, Judge, there was an offer. My client and I talked about the EWAP ticket. Your Honor, at this point in time, we would seek a bench trial date on these matters. We realize, we talked about the age of the ticket. We talked about how you don't get credit just because of the matter's that old. And given his circumstance, Judge, it's in my client's best interest to ask for a bench trial at this time.
Okay, so he's asking for a bench trial as to all three matters?
Yes, Judge.
All right, very good. And so I am going to schedule all three matters for a bench trial, which means I'm setting aside the warrant in the U ticket for the
Thank you
U
very
ticket,
much,
Mr. Fikens.
Thank you, Your
And
Honor.
I'll set the bench trial, yes, sir, for July 1st, 2022. And that will be at 11:00 a.m. And we'll do it for all of the matters.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Antoine, for your patience. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you as well.
All right. All right, Ms. Ross, I'm now ready for you. Could you, oh, he's a transfer case, don't have an ROA. All right, Ms. Ross, would you read into the case, into the record, the matters for Mr. McCullough Harrell?
Yes, Your Honor.
It doesn't matter, whichever works for you.
Would you like his case numbers? His
Yes,
case
ma'am,
number?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
22WE00109. And it is a OWI charge, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ross, before I thank you for placing that case number on the record, Mr. McCullough Harrell, state your full name. Thank you and good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you. All right, Ms. Ross, did you reach the probation officer from the transferring court?
Your Honor, I called and was unable to make contact. I did leave a voicemail for her to call me back. So I wasn't able to reach her on today, Your Honor.
Okay, were you able to leave a message as to what we talked about in staffing as to Mr. McCullough Harrell?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, Mr. McCullough Harrell, you should know that the recommendation was made to send you back to your court where you came from to let them deal with you. Sir, you're defiant. I don't have the time, the energy, or the resources to do that. I want to help you, but you got to want the help. And some of the things and comments that you made in the presence of my officer about what you weren't going to do in this court and how you had treated your grandmother or what have you, which I don't even want to repeat that mess on my record because it'll make me that angry. And so I just feel that it's a better fit for you because I don't want to see you go to jail, which you probably will end up going to jail out county, but I'm not going to send you to jail. I'm just going to send you back to where you came from so that they can deal with you. But I'm going to tell you, your attitude, you're a good person. You are. I stood here and talked to you for 45 minutes. You're a good person. But that defiant attitude, you are going to wreck yourself, sir. Because if you think you're going to be in a country where you're going to say to authority, I'm not going to do what you say do, when what authority is telling you is not harming you, it's not illegal, it's not going to your detriment, then you are setting yourself up for failure in the long run in life. And I feel sorry for you because you have children, you have people that look up to you, you have people that are counting on you. And your attitude, it sucks. And so I'm gonna let the folks in the county where you came from, I'm gonna let them deal with that and decide what to do with you, put you in a process. You thought this was a process. You wait till you get back over there. Ms. Ross, I need you to draft a letter for this court's signature that indicates that he's being sent back, refused to follow the court's orders, and therefore I'm returning him back to, what city was it again, Ms. Ross?
Your Honor, Westland.
I'm returning him back to Westland. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, is there anything you'd like to say or anything you want this court to know?
Judge, before Mr. Fikens speaks, and Mr. Fikens has talked more with our client than I have, I support anyone who wants to participate in drug treatment court, anyone who wants to follow the rules, the orders of the court. I support their participation in drug treatment court. If you don't want to participate, if you can't follow the court's orders, I do not support your participation in drug treatment court, Judge. I have no objections. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Fikens?
Thank you, Your Honor. You know, I've talked with Mr. McCullough-Harrell on a couple of occasions, and I really do like him. I think he's a great person. I might sound like a Star Wars movie when I say, I know there's good in you, but sir, I know there is good in you. There is good in you, and there's a lot of good in you. There's a lot of promise in you, and I hope that you understand that, because, you know, we've talked about a lot of things, and I'm on your side more than you could ever know. But you got to get on track, and I wish you well, sir. I wish you would do the things the court requires of you, and I just wish you well. I really mean that, because there is so much promise in you, and I hope you realize that one day.
All right, Ms. McCullough-Harrell, is there anything you'd like to say to the court at this time?
I tried.
No, you really didn't try,
I
sir.
did my recommendations, and talking to my grandma wasn't really one of them. That's stressful enough situation.
All right, then do it your way. Do it your way. Because see, when you violated my order, I should have sent you to jail, sir. I gave you one assignment in lieu of jail. You're a transfer case. I gave you one assignment. And for you to blatantly come in here and say you're not gonna do what this court says to do, then that's on you. Miss Robs, get my letter together. I want to sign it before I get on an airplane, because I want them to know that he indicated that he would not comply with this court's order. And you going back to Westland. And I hope you know my colleague, whoever they are, whether they know me or not, they will not look at that favorably. You have such a horrible attitude. I wish you all could see his disposition even now. You have such a horrible attitude, and I really feel sorry for you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get this all taken off.
No, keep it on. Until he makes his contact with Westland, and then the judge in Westland will let you know when you can take that off. And actually, Ms. Ross, because that's our tether, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, through our agency.
Through our agency. And so this is what we'll do, Ms. Ross. I need you to connect with Westland, because I want to make sure the record is clear that I'm returning him back to them. And then once you make that connection with Westland, we'll schedule for you to have our tether taken off. Okay, because we just want to make sure we're doing a good handover. All right. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Ms. Ross, for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm drafting the letter right now.
All right. Thank you so much. He's got a terrible attitude, Ms. Ross. I wish you could see him. Pathetic. Somebody's daddy. Somebody's daddy. All right.